What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden, and welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Weekly. Of course, if you guys are very accustomed to Bulls Weekly, what we do is look at the previous week for the Chicago Bulls, discussing the wins and the losses, how good the Bulls' overall previous week was, giving us some awards for some individual performances, as well as discussing some of the upcoming games for the Chicago Bulls, and I guess the schedule ahead for us. But before we get any further, if you like the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls, their previous week and the upcoming week ahead. Now, we had a fairly shorter week this week. We only had 3 games to worry about, and we once again exited this week in a positive record. We went 2-1 this week, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to take that every day of the week. Look, again, just because it's a shorter week doesn't mean it's any more or less important. We versed some teams that are in our vicinity, and we did okay, I would say, overall. Our first game that we had was against the Atlanta Hawks, and we won this game 118 to 113. A solid week all around, I would say, in that regard. A solid game, I should say. Andre Drummond was absolutely phenomenal. Guys like DeMar DeRozan took levels above, and again, it was just a very well-needed victory against a team that we're battling with within the play-in tournament scene. They're a seed below us at the moment. At the time, they were a seed above us. So we did a very good job in defeating the Atlanta Hawks at home, doing what we were supposed to do in a close and competitive game. Then we versed the Indiana Pacers, and we lost to pure greatness here at this point. The Indiana Pacers beat the Chicago Bulls 120 to 104. Tyrese Halliburton, as of today, has had 2 back-to-back games of 20 points and 20 assists. Unbelievably great games from Tyrese Halliburton. They beat the Knicks today. They beat the Bulls earlier. Again, a great game for Tyrese Halliburton that sent the Bulls, I guess, into a defeat. Again, we're 1-1 against the Pacers overall, so we still have an opportunity to win that season series against them, which would be nice. But ultimately, a great game from a great player that sealed the Bulls' fate in that game in a defeat. Can't really say much else. I know the Bulls played badly, and it's very easy to pick on the Bulls when they play badly, but sometimes you just have to recognize when you just got, you got outclassed by the better team, or at least the better player in this time out. We'll see what happens in the next time against them. And then obviously earlier today, we faced the Philadelphia 76ers. We won this game 105 to 92. A strong and sound game for the Chicago Bulls in general. Really liked how we played in this time out, at least on the defensive end. But both teams really struggled in this time out. You don't often see a team like the Philadelphia 76ers drop 92 points in a game. So that shows that they struggled. The Bulls struggled as well, but we managed the game. We did some strong things on the defensive end, and we ended up walking away with a pretty sound victory overall. So, 2-1. Overall positive record. Not too shabby, I would say, from a Chicago Bulls standpoint. But now we turn into the awards of the video. There's 4 awards we like to give out. The must improve of the week, which is the player that struggled the most. The 6th man of the week, the best bench player that we have, I guess, of the week. The defensive player of the week, pretty straightforward, the best defender we have, and the player of the week, the guy that shined the most throughout the week. And this is going to be a very interesting one to give out. So, the must improve of the week for me is Jevon Carter. I feel like Jevon Carter, unfortunately, just hasn't really got going for the Chicago Bulls pretty much the whole season. He's had some moments where he's shined, some moments where he's really stepped up to the plate, and other moments where he feels like a liability out there on the court, defensively and offensively. So I just feel like this week wasn't a great one for Jevon Carter, and it does suck to see him not necessarily shine in a Bulls uniform, considering I know a lot of people will know how much being a Chicago Bull means to a guy from Chicago. It's as simple as that. So we want him to succeed, we want him to shine, but it's just not hit the ground running for him this season. Okay, moving into the defensive player of the week, I'm going to give this one easily to Alex Caruso. I wouldn't necessarily say easily. Actually, scratch that. I'm going to give it to Andre Drummond. I feel like Andre Drummond is the best defender this week. Look, Alex Caruso is the easy choice to give it to. But I want to try something different here. There are a lot of games this week, in the 3 games, that we've seen blocks, steals, and rebounds by Andre Drummond that leads to very good defensive displays here. So I think Andre Drummond is actually my defensive player of the week. My 6th man of the week, look, I'm not happy with the bench this week, I'll be honest. I think we've struggled with the bench unit. I think some guys have stepped up in some games, but most of the time our bench has been very lackluster. But I do believe Ayo Dosunmu has been the best bench player this week. I know he had a very bad game against Philly, But other than that, I thought he was solid. I thought he stepped up to the plate and helped us when our bench was lacking in points. So I would give it to Ayo Dosunmu for the sixth man of the week. And then the player of the week, I will also give to Andre Drummond. Again, his game against Atlanta. Wow. I know he had a bad game against the Pacers, 6 points only, but he had a phenomenal rebounding night. And then the game against Philly was an absolute masterclass again from Andre Drummond. I almost said DeMar DeRozan. But yeah, altogether, a very solid game for Andre Drummond against Philly. And an amazing game against Atlanta, and a fairly below average game against the Pacers, but all around leads, in my opinion, to the Player of the Week award. It's fantastic that we're going to see someone different in the Player of the Week category. It's often the same guys. It's usually Kobe White, DeMar DeRozan. When Zach LaVine plays, it's usually Zach LaVine. Maybe every now and then you get a Nikola Vucevic. It's great to see a guy like Andre Drummond and even Alex Caruso this season finding their ways into the Player of the Week categories, for me at least. And that is obviously something we need to see more of. Guys like Torrey Craig, when he comes back, I'd love to see more of him in this contention. Guys like Ayo, again, it's beautiful to see. But now we turn our heads into the upcoming week, and we have another short week for the Chicago Bulls as we head into the 2024 calendar year, let's say. So, with that being said, our first game is away from home against a team we know oh so well, and that will be against the Philadelphia 76ers. We just beat them at home. Can we do it again away from home, winning the season series and going undefeated against them? That's going to be a big game and a very big test for the Bulls. I doubt we're going to win this game. It's very hard to beat teams consecutively like that. We've seen it with Miami. We versed them twice consecutively. So we've versed them 4 games, 2 games at home straight away, 2 games away from home straight away. We ended up tying the season series against them. So it's not going to be an easy game against Philly. But then we got the New York Knicks, a new look New York Knicks team. OG Anunoby should be there. Malachi Flynn should be there. Precious Achiuwa should be there. There's a lot of people that's going to be new for the New York Knicks. So we could see a chemistry issue, or we could see a better New York Knicks team. We'll have to wait and see. Then our last game is against the Charlotte Hornets, a very injury-riddled team, a team, in my opinion, that are down in the dumps right now when it comes to the Charlotte Hornets. Now, I don't classify any of these games easy, but these are some winnable games ahead of us right now, especially with the Knicks and the Charlotte Hornets. So let's hope we can walk away from this current stretch of games in a positive standpoint once again. I think it's always the goal to go positive every single week. Can we get the job done? Let me know in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching. Drop a like and a follow, and or subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Have a happy and safe new year, ladies and gentlemen. Take care and peace.